The disappearance of the Douglas C-54 Skymaster. Introduction. On January 26, 1950, a Douglas C-54 Skymaster, operated by the United States Air Force, embarked on a seemingly routine flight from Anchorage, Alaska, to Guam. This particular mission, like many before it, involved transporting military personnel and crucial cargo to support U.S. efforts in the growing conflict of the Korean War. However, as the aircraft ascended into the vast Alaskan skies, no one could have foreseen that this flight would transform into one of aviation's most perplexing mysteries: the crew and passengers. The C-54 was captained by Thomas H. Foster, a seasoned pilot with extensive experience flying military aircraft. First Officer Edward T. Harris was alongside him, bringing additional expertise and reliability to the cockpit. The aircraft was configured to carry both personnel and cargo, with military members from various units on board, all eager to reach their destination. Among the passengers were soldiers, mechanics, and support personnel, each contributing to the U.S. military's operations in the Pacific. Many were young, full of ambition and determination, looking forward to serving their country. The mood was a mix of excitement and nerves, typical of military flights where camaraderie blossomed among those who shared a common purpose. A calm departure. As the C-54 took off from Anchorage, everything appeared normal. The aircraft climbed steadily, with the pilots conducting pre-flight checks and confirming that all systems were operational. Communications with the Anchorage control tower were routine, and the weather at the time of departure was manageable, though forecasters had predicted possible turbulence ahead. For the first hour of the flight, the plane cruised at altitude over the beautiful Alaskan landscape, a mix of snow-capped mountains and vast, untouched wilderness. The crew maintained a steady conversation, ensuring that all operations were running smoothly. However, as they progressed, the weather began to shift unexpectedly. An unforeseen challenge. Crossing into the heart of Alaska, the pilots soon encountered a wall of thick clouds, with visibility diminishing rapidly. The weather had deteriorated significantly, characterized by swirling snow and strong winds that rocked the aircraft. Captain Foster attempted to navigate around the storm, seeking to maintain a safe altitude while ensuring the safety of everyone on board. As conditions worsened, Foster radioed Anchorage control, expressing concern about the visibility and requesting permission to descend to a lower altitude where the weather might be more favorable. He communicated that they would attempt to fly below the cloud cover. This request was granted, and the last transmission from the C-54 occurred shortly after 2 p.m. when Foster relayed their position and intentions. This message was marked by a sense of urgency, a final glimpse into the struggles of the flight. The last communication. In that final communication, a sense of tension was evident. Captain Foster informed the control tower that they were experiencing significant turbulence and that the weather was rapidly deteriorating. It was not uncommon for pilots to encounter rough conditions in Alaska, but the severity of the storm seemed to catch them off guard. The last message would echo through the records of air traffic control, leaving behind a chilling silence that followed. Moments later, the C-54 vanished from radar screens. Panic set in at the control tower as the realization dawned that something had gone horribly wrong. The search efforts. The alarm was raised almost immediately when the aircraft failed to arrive in Guam. Search and rescue operations were launched with urgency, involving a coordinated effort from multiple military and civilian organizations. Several aircraft, including helicopters and reconnaissance planes, were dispatched to scour the area, while ground teams prepared to search the rugged terrain below. Searchers faced numerous challenges as they combed through the harsh Alaskan wilderness. The relentless weather proved to be a formidable adversary, with snowstorms and low visibility complicating the efforts. The vastness of the search area, combined with the treacherous conditions, made it nearly impossible to pinpoint a crash site. Days turned into weeks, with teams tirelessly searching every inch of possible terrain. Rescuers operated under the haunting notion that every minute that passed reduced the chances of finding survivors. However, despite their best efforts, no trace of the C-54 was ever discovered. Theories and speculation. As weeks turned into months without any recovery, speculation began to grow regarding the fate of the aircraft. Theories abounded, each attempting to explain the mysterious disappearance of the Skymaster. Mechanical failure. Some experts suggested that a sudden and catastrophic mechanical failure could have struck the aircraft during the storm. The C-54 was an older model, and while it was generally reliable, the harsh conditions could have compromised its systems. This theory was plausible given the extreme weather, which could have resulted in icing on wings or other critical components. Weather-related incident. Others believed that the extreme weather itself may have caused the pilots to lose control of the aircraft. High winds, whiteouts, and turbulence could lead to spatial disorientation, making it difficult for even experienced pilots to maintain control. If the crew had descended into severe weather, they could have encountered treacherous conditions that forced a crash landing. Emergency landing. A third theory posited that the C-54 may have attempted an emergency landing in a remote area but was unable to reach a safe site. If the pilots had spotted a clearing, they might have tried to land, only to meet tragedy in the rugged Alaskan terrain. The dense forests and mountains in that region could easily conceal wreckage from even a nearby search party. Military secrets and foul play. Some conspiracy theories emerged, suggesting that the C-54 was engaged in a covert operation involving classified materials or sensitive military personnel. These theories hinted at espionage or foul play, speculating that something sinister may have occurred that was never disclosed to the public. However, without any evidence, these ideas remained in the realm of speculation. A legacy of mystery. As time passed, the disappearance of the Douglas C-54 Skymaster became an enduring aviation mystery. The families of those on board continued to seek closure, holding on to the hope that one day, answers would emerge about what truly happened on that fateful flight. Memorials were erected to honor the lost service members, and their stories remained a poignant reminder of the sacrifices made during military service. In the decades that followed, the case attracted the attention of aviation enthusiasts, historians, and mystery lovers alike. The lack of closure, combined with the haunting nature of the story, ensured that the Skymaster's disappearance would linger in the collective memory of aviation history. Documentaries and books would be produced, weaving together the details of the flight, the search efforts, and the theories surrounding its fate. Conclusion. The tale of the Douglas C-54 Skymaster is not just one of a missing aircraft, but a story woven with human lives, dreams, and the uncertainties of aviation. It serves as a reminder of the risks pilots face when navigating unpredictable weather, the challenges of flight in remote regions, and the harsh reality of military service. As we look back on the legacy of the C-54, we are left with lingering questions and a profound sense of loss. The search for answers continues, as does the hope that one day, the mysteries of the skies will yield their secrets, allowing the stories of those aboard to be fully told. The Douglas C-54 Skymaster remains a symbol of bravery, sacrifice, and the enduring human spirit in the face of the